Meghan Markle just got completely ignored. Yes, that Meghan. The Duchess, the actress, the podcast host, and the woman who calls herself a lifestyle expert. She shows up at the Balenciaga fashion show, acting like she's about to be crowned queen again. In her head, this was her big comeback moment, her grand "I'm still important" entrance. But what Meghan didn't know was that she wasn't about to get celebrated. She was about to learn a hard lesson. The guest list was full of big names: Anne Hathaway, Dame Kristin Scott Thomas, Baz Luhrmann, Pip Crit, a whole room full of actually powerful people. Meghan walks in with her chin up and her smile perfectly practiced. You can almost hear what she's thinking. Remember me? I used to be with Harry. She sits down gracefully next to Dame Kristin, clearly expecting that classy nod of recognition. You know, that polite hello between two important ladies. But instead, nothing. Absolutely nothing but awkward silence. Dame Kristin doesn't even react. She doesn't even look at her. She just keeps talking to someone else, like Meghan is some random person who walked too close to the drinks table. It's not just shade. It's like a total blackout level of ignoring someone. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how Meghan Markle's Paris moment went from big entrance to total embarrassment. It's the kind of silence that actually hurts worse than insults. People who are there describe it like watching something uncomfortable happen in slow motion. Kristin Scott Thomas, elegant and classy, slightly turning herself to face someone else. Meghan stuck between trying to keep going and freaking out, trying to stay relevant right there in that moment. And here's where it gets really good, because people at that level don't ignore you by mistake. Oh no, they ignore you very carefully. They do it with the kind of class that says, "I don't hate you, sweetie. I just don't even notice you." In that moment, Meghan Markle wasn't the Duchess, the actress, or the icon. She was invisible. Like when your computer screen freezes and just sits there doing nothing. Dame Kristin's behavior wasn't mean. It was like a teaching moment, a perfect example of silent boundaries. A reminder that real class doesn't wave, doesn't chase people down, doesn't smile too much. It just exists naturally. As Meghan stood there looking confused, her face said everything. The halfway tight smile, the clenched jaw, the quick, awkward look around the room, searching for a friendly face. It was the face of a woman realizing she was no longer the main story, just another guest trying to fit in. And that's the sad part of it all. Meghan thought she was making her big comeback into high fashion. But the Balenciaga show made something else obvious. The fashion world had moved on. The people who actually matter in those circles, the Dame Kristins of the world, don't need cameras to prove they're important. Meanwhile, Meghan's whole image still needs people watching her. Paris didn't just ignore her. It made her disappear right in front of everyone. And that, my friend, is the cruelest part of all. Not being hated, not being made fun of, but being politely invisible. If Paris was the runway of getting rejected, Los Angeles was supposed to fix everything. A few weeks after that cold Balenciaga moment, Meghan Markle shows up again in her safe space, California. Sunshine, avocado toast, and cameras that always make everything look perfect. This time, it wasn't a fashion show. It was something smaller, more private. A fancy vegan dinner at the house of designer Kelly Wearstler. One of those polished Hollywood nights where the napkins cost more than most people's monthly rent, and every guest has someone managing their public image. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Emma Grede completely overshadowed Meghan Markle. You know Emma Grede, CEO of Good American, the powerhouse behind Skims, a billion-dollar businesswoman. She walks in like the quiet boss she is. No drama, no showing off, no need to prove anything. From the moment she sat down, the whole vibe changed. People leaned toward her, laughed harder at her jokes, nodded more when she spoke. Meghan noticed. Of course, she noticed. According to one source, Meghan tried to turn the conversation back to herself, talking about her wine brand, her charity, her ideas about helping women. The kind of practiced lines we've all heard a million times. Then it happened. Emma, right in the middle of talking, politely cut her off. No attitude, just calm, natural confidence, the way truly powerful people act. Meghan, who always takes over the spotlight, had been dimmed again, this time by someone who wasn't even trying to. But the embarrassment didn't end at the dinner table because the real story came later. Weeks later, the gossip spreads through Beverly Hills like wildfire. Emma Grede, the same woman who effortlessly outshined Meghan at that dinner, has just been named ambassador for the King's Foundation. Yes, that king. The same institution Meghan spent years criticizing. The irony is almost unbelievable. While Meghan's been busy rebranding herself as a California Duchess, her old world has moved on, and it's now working with her so-called friends. According to sources close to the palace, the appointment wasn't random. The King's Foundation wanted a modern, successful woman to represent them in the U.S., and Emma Grede is perfect. Successful, respected, drama-free, everything Meghan was supposed to be. Reportedly, Meghan was shocked by the news. She'd spent years painting the royal family as the bad guys, claiming racism, emotional abuse, and betrayal. Now someone from her friend group is working directly with them and doing great. Behind closed doors, insiders say Meghan's team tried to act like she was happy for Emma. But the vibe didn't match the words. Because if there's one thing Meghan understands, it's how things look. And this looked brutal. While Emma gets closer to the crown, Meghan's brand drifts further away from it. The very world she tried to tear down is now welcoming someone else. Someone who doesn't chase attention, doesn't perform vulnerability, and doesn't need a Netflix deal to stay relevant. Paris ignored her. Hollywood outshined her. And now the monarchy has replaced her without even mentioning her name. The lesson is painfully perfect. Meghan wanted to rewrite her royal story. But instead, the story rewrote her. Behind the photos, the interviews, and the perfect PR image, something has been falling apart quietly, slowly, and for a long time. Sources say Prince Harry has become a ghost in his own life. Once the wild royal rebel, now a guy sitting in Montecito, scrolling through videos of his wife, being frozen out in Paris and upstaged in LA. And here's the part that reportedly hurts the most. He isn't angry about it. He's actually relieved. For the first time in years, someone else is dealing with the drama. Someone else is handling the stress. Insiders claim the romance is gone, replaced by brand planning. The marriage that once looked like a fairy tale has started to look like a business partnership. Meetings, planning, photo opportunities, but not much warmth, not much closeness. And allegedly, Harry's been obsessing over himself, worrying about his hair loss, his aging face. The man who once went against royal rules now struggles to keep up with Hollywood's beauty standards. It's sad in a way. He gave up his family, his country, his legacy, all for a life that now feels like a performance he can't escape. Meanwhile, Meghan keeps going. The world might not be paying as much attention anymore, but she's still posing like they are. While all this plays out under California sunshine, the quiet halls of Buckingham Palace are reportedly making moves. King Charles, after years of holding back, is said to be considering a major move, removing titles through Parliament. It started with whispers about Prince Andrew, but insiders suggest Prince William has been pushing for something more serious. A complete cleanup of the monarchy's image before his time as king begins. And that includes Harry and Meghan. For years, the royal family tolerated their drama, their interviews, their accusations. But patience runs out, even for royals. Word from insiders suggests that if Parliament steps in to officially remove Andrew, the Sussex titles might be taken away soon after. Imagine it, the final split. No titles, no royal connection, no duchess, no duke. Just two people in California trying to stay relevant in a world that's already moved on. It's like perfect karma, really. Meghan spent years trying to control the royal story. Now the royals are rewriting hers quietly, legally, and without ever needing to mention her name. And so we come back to where it all started. A crowded room, flashing lights, and Meghan Markle standing alone. From Paris to Los Angeles, from palace hallways to California mansions, her story has been one long show. A woman chasing the spotlight only to discover that true power is built in silence. Dame Kristin's subtle turn in Paris wasn't just ignoring someone. It was like predicting the future. A preview of how the world would soon treat Meghan. Not with hate, not with cheers, but with polite indifference. Emma Grede didn't embarrass her on purpose. She simply existed as proof that you don't have to demand relevance when you already have it. And Harry, poor Harry, now exists somewhere between nostalgia and regret. Watching the woman who changed his life slowly lose the very thing she once lived for: attention. Because that's the cruel reality of fame. It doesn't end with a bang. It fades quietly, gradually, until the spotlight you've built your world around points somewhere else. So maybe the question isn't what's next for Meghan Markle. Maybe the real question is, when the lights go down and the cameras stop rolling, who is she without them? For now, the rooms she walks into no longer stop. The smiles don't turn her way. The energy doesn't change. She's there, dressed perfectly, camera ready, and somehow completely invisible. And in the quiet that follows, the message is clear. Fashion fades. Fame fades. But grace, real grace, never has to announce itself.